Presented by the experts at TireRack.com and is brought to you by Coca-Cola, Under Armour, Gatorade, Canon, by Vivid Seats, St. Joseph Health System, South Bend Orthopedics, by West Bend Insurance, First Source Bank, by IBEW, and by Papa John's. And now, live from O'Rourke's Public House, your host for the Mike Brey Show, Jack Nolan.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to O'Rourke's Public House for the Mike Brey Radio Show. I'm Jack Nolan, joined as always by the head coach of the Fighting Irish. And, Coach, 17 days ago, you got on a plane to take a 1-4 conference team down to Atlanta, where you'd only beaten Georgia Tech once in program history, and you had that win. And now, 17 days later, you're 5-6 in the league, and you are all alone in 7th place, with the only losses during this stretch by a total of 3 points to Syracuse and Florida State. But more importantly, you are again in position to legitimately make a run at the NCAA tournament.
And, you know, 17 days ago on that plane, that was a long flight down, wondering where we were going. And really proud of our group. I think we've gotten better. You know, the one thing, you know, I've told them it's never too late when you're in this league. You can make a move. And I'm really proud of how we came home after the disappointment in Tallahassee of not being able to get that one, and to get all three of these here before we go on a grueling road stretch. But I got to give a lot of credit to our senior captains. I think Pfluger, Gibbs, and Mooney, certainly they're playing to their fullest potential, but they're really, I think they're seeing their careers coming to an end, you know, and I think they've been fabulous at, you know, keeping everybody focused and playing the right way and being stable and just chasing it as a group. And, you know, we've gotten better. We've grown up a little bit. Those sophomores are a little more confident now and showing signs of doing things. And like you said, like you wake up this morning with the standings and you got a shot.
You know, I think when you talk about your senior captains looking at it coming to an end, and I think your Ring of Honor annual ceremony helps this. They saw all those guys come back. They know deep down the next level might be very lucrative. It's going to pay some bills. Might be even a little bit easier because you're not juggling schoolwork and trying to play basketball. But it's never going to be like this again. You will probably never feel the sense of camaraderie and, yes, family that you feel right now. And it is going to end hopefully in 6, maybe 8 weeks.
Yeah, but you're exactly right about that. And when our former guys come back now, and when you're at a place 20 years, you have a bunch of former guys back, you know, they have great memories and relationships. And we just look at my coaching staff. I watch how my coaching staff interacts. Hump and Swan played together. Scott and Ryan Ayers played together. You know, we've just, you know, it's neat to hear them tell stories, and there's a bond there that it's never the same after you leave college. It just never is. You can ask any guy that plays professionally. And again, guys make good money, but they come back here in the summer and they want to reignite those memories. And that's what was so neat about Kelly Trapuka's thing. You see the 78 Final Four team, a lot of them were back and teammates. And I thought Kelly's talk to us on Friday was really good. It was almost a sports psychologist / motivational speaker. And he kind of challenged Johnny Mooney, and Johnny Mooney went out and got 26 and 13, you know. So I texted Kelly. I said I may bring you back in again for another one. But that was certainly a neat afternoon for our program.
And certainly you have a style of basketball. Sometimes we call it Brey ball. You have a way you put your teams together to make them old. You knew when you had the opportunity to bring in a class last year with 4 guys in the top 100, which I don't think has ever been done here. Certainly in Digger's time, he brought in some great guys, and they didn't rank them the same way, but I'm not sure if we ever had 4 top 100 guys, but you knew you were going to be really young. It cost you last year, that and injuries. But now you're old again, and you're starting to play offensively the way you have always played. You dominated this homestand looking like you used to look. Last night marked the 5th straight game your team has scored 80 or more points. I know I surprised you with this morning. I was surprised when I read it. It's the first time that a Notre Dame team has scored 80 points in 5 straight conference games since your Big East days back in 2008, 11 years ago.
That's amazing. And you know, we always used to say, it used to be Martin Inglesby that would say it, we'd be walking in the tunnel at halftime, and if we had 40 or more on the board, he said, it's our kind of night, coach. We got 41 on the board. We're en route to 85. And this group is really playing on the offensive end of the floor. Not that they're not playing together defensively, because they are, and moving around, but the offensive stuff they do and how they share the ball, you can see they're older. You can see that they've now played together a lot. And it's been neat to see it kind of kick in the last 2 weeks. And they play the right way. They share the ball. We're playing faster. And I think the biggest thing is when you have basketball IQ guys that share the ball and trust each other, just don't overcoach them. You know, we have some principles, and then we play basketball and be in an attack frame of mind. But I think Dan Bonner said it pretty good. When you think about, well, they put defensive pressure on you. You talk about teams. Florida State puts defensive pressure on you. You can put offensive pressure on your opponent. And that's really how the program has been built with the kind of kids we get here. Skilled guys who can put it in the basket and know where the ball should go. And you're able to, be efficient enough offensively that it's hard to catch you. And then get key stops when you have to. So it's been neat to see it, and it's neat to see it on our court. We haven't, we didn't do that last year. And we
even struggled a bit in the non-conference.
We were hanging our head on our defense, just so we were having to scratch out wins. Now we could go down there Sunday night, and the score may be in the low 60s. We got to be able to adjust and play through that and be tough. But there is an explosiveness to this group that they now kind of realize, a firepower that they're getting more confident in.
And and I think since you've joined the ACC, and the Big East was great. But there were always 2 or 3 teams in the Big East that were struggling and just couldn't match up. Every team in the ACC, and I think that's one of the reasons why this year it's so close, you got a couple of guys who are going to make some big money playing somewhere professionally on every team from top to bottom. You've had to get better on defense. You had some good Big East defensive teams, that Danny Miller, Jordan Cornette was one of them, but not consistently. But since you've been in the ACC, you have been in the middle of the pack defensively.
Yeah.
And when you're firing on offense, that's really all you have to be. And last night it was a game of runs. And I think to further illustrate what you were just saying, what Dan Bonner brought up, Pitt had 2 or 3 good runs last night, and they struggle offensively. Normally that would give them control of the game, and you answered with a bigger run each time, and the last run knocked them out.
Yeah, and that's what's neat to see. I think earlier in January and December, when there was some game pressure on us, sometimes we didn't respond as well. We were anxious. We were nervous. Maybe we were afraid to take the big, I think we've grown in that area, and we've gotten more confident in finishing and knowing this is a big offensive possession. We really have to get a great shot, and we get it to the right person at the right spot. So, some growth and some confidence, and we darn sure need it given what's coming at us here in the next 10 days, right?
All right, we'll get to that right after. One other point I want to make about you. Not only are you sitting in 7th place, but RPI's out now with the NCAA. It's the new net rankings, which we were just discussing. We're not entirely sure everything that goes in to the net ranking. They've been keeping them very, very secretive. ESPN runs another one that they think is even better, the Basketball Power Index rankings. But in both of these rankings right now, you are in the 50s, and you're dramatically above all of the teams behind you in the standings, and you're even ahead of you in the standings. But the bottom line is, those are the numbers people are going to look at to decide if you are NCAA tournament worthy, and you have put yourself in position heading into February to take that step.
Yeah, we're within striking distance now. When your net is 59, and your BPI is 51. What was the ESPN index? Was that?
Yeah, that's the BPI. The ESPN.
BPI is, yeah. So 59 and 51. You're within striking distance now, and certainly there are some potential great wins on your schedule. But you got to win enough now to get back up in this thing. But given what our guys did with the 3-game homestand, is you're there. It's doable, it's gettable, and so I'm thrilled that we're in that position, because like we said, 17 days ago on that flight to Atlanta, I'm thinking like, man, I have every speech ready in the book for after the game, depending on how this goes. And I was really proud of how we fought and got out of there and felt better about ourselves.
Before the homestand began, you didn't want to talk about sweeping it. You wanted to talk about one-game win streak. So in our scouting segment in the last session, we're just going to talk about Clemson. But now is the time to talk about this run that's coming up. When the schedule came out, everybody looked at it and said, wow. And I've been just bringing it up with all of the opposing teams' announce crews, some of the national announcers, some writers. No one can remember ever seeing a team in college have to play a stretch like this. Sunday night, 6 p.m., you're at Clemson, a team that beat North Carolina at Carolina for the first time ever this year and beat Duke at home. Then you're at Virginia, the defending national champions, on Tuesday night at 9. Then you go to Duke Saturday at 4. You've won there once. Very hard to win there. And then you come home to take on North Carolina. And before the season, Virginia, Duke, Carolina were considered the top 3 teams in the league. And you do this in 9 days.
Yeah, it really is amazing. You know, when the schedule came out, I tried not to look at it a lot because there was stuff early in the schedule you're worried about. But now that it's upon us, it's an amazing stretch. I don't know. We've not ever had a stretch like this in the history of our
years.
Yeah, I mean, we just haven't had anything like this.
And 3 of them are on the road.
And 3 on the road in a short window. And so, you know, given, I told our guys this last night after the game, given that we won 3 in a row here at home, and our numbers are our numbers, and we're in 7th, and we're around 5 and 6, right there at 500-ish in the league. Now you can look at this road swing as opportunity, not, oh my God. There's great opportunity here, and, you know, to add to you know, a resume, or improve a resume. So, you know, for us, we want to continue to go for it. And, you know, our travel will be different. We haven't played 2 games on one road swing. So we'll play at Clemson at 6 o'clock on Sunday evening. And we'll go right to Charlottesville after the game that night, probably get in at a reasonable time. That's not a long flight on the charter. And then we got all day Monday, and then you don't play till 9 o'clock on Tuesday night. And Virginia's been a bear for us. Let's just say they've been a bear for a lot of people, but they've really been a bear for us, and they're just going to guard the heck out of you. You're going to get home at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, probably on Wednesday, hopefully. And then you got to get your energy back and get back on a plane around 2 p.m. on Friday and go to Durham. And then you're going to get back Saturday night, and then you got to get some rest. And here comes North Carolina, and Cole Anthony's back. And it's, you know, it's opportunity, and it's exciting. Our guys, are you kidding me, playing big games on national TV? I mean, let's have fun with it. Our fans have been great. Our crowd has been great. So when we get back Monday, we're certainly going to need them.
But I love what you've been doing really throughout the ACC schedule. If you look at all 4, it is daunting.
Nah.
But if you just look at one, everyone is gettable. Everybody you're playing this year,
no question,
in this 9 days, has been beaten. So if you take them as 4 one-game challenges, everyone's possible.
And that's what we really wanted. That's how we kind of sized up this 3-game homestand. You're coming home, and certainly everybody says, well, you get those 3 at home. But if you know, Johnny Mooney was the one after, what was the first one, Wake? No,
yes.
Wake. After the Wake game that kind of said, all right, that's 1. And then we just talked about George, you know, then, you know, so all I did today as I kind of showed us the standings and our math and our numbers and trying to explain that, fellas, we're in striking distance here. We're in position, is let's just talk about Clemson. And we'll deal with Virginia on Monday morning when we wake up in Charlottesville.
Some of your guys are putting up really, really good numbers both this season and career-wise, and we're going to take a look at some of those numbers in our next segment. This is the Mike Brey Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House, presented by the experts at TireRack.com.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
There's no doubt education costs have become overwhelming and continue to spike. Unless you choose to earn while you learn as an apprentice with the electrical workers of Local 153. Instead of spending $20,000 a year, often leaving school with a debt, you'll earn an annual package worth over $70,000 while you earn your associate's degree and the skills to be an IBEW electrician. Contact the South Bend Electrical Apprentice Training Center at JATC153.com and compare. Huge cost with no guarantee of a job versus earning $280,000 and training for the future.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss your chance to experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell tickets to any event. Home games, on the road, even sold-out games, no problem. And every transaction is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee. Vivid Seats lets you see more and sit closer all season long. Support the Fighting Irish with tickets from the official ticket marketplace, Vivid Seats. Available now at vividseats.com/UND.
You know, a lot of banking apps let you do the same things, like check your balance in your PJs, deposit checks during your workout, and transfer funds from, well, anywhere. But because we're a trusted bank in the neighborhood, the First Source app comes with a walk-in option, so you can talk face-to-face, not just face-to-phone. First Source Bank.
Member FDIC. Download the First Source app on the App Store or Google Play.
At St. Joseph Health System, every hand held, every story told, every tear shed, smile shared, and spirit lifted stays in our hearts forever. We're blessed because every day we get to make a difference in people's lives. To learn more, visit sjmed.com. St. Joseph Health System. We are called to care for you.
We are back at O'Rourke's Public House, the Mike Brey radio show. Going to move on to a little breaking news, folks. John Mooney was today named one of the 10 finalists for the Karl Malone Award, which is awarded by the Basketball Hall of Fame each year to the top power forward in the nation. He's the only player in the ACC on the list. Among some of the others, Jalen Smith, who we saw when we played Maryland, and Xavier Tillman of Michigan State. But that is much-deserved recognition for John.
I thought you were going to say they added him to the wooden list.
No, wooden. They're getting a lot of heat for not having, not just from Notre Dame connected people, that John's not on that list.
Yeah, I know. That's great for him. Well, amazingly well-deserved, and went past 1,000 points. When was it, Georgia Tech or
yes,
Georgia Tech game?
Georgia Tech, and then last night he went past 800 rebounds.
800
so he's
rebounds.
The 25th player in your era to pass the 1,000-point career plateau. 25th player and the 6th to go over 800 rebounds.
Wow, it's elite company, and I think it's really been cool, our 1,000-point scorers. You and I were talking about that before. I mean, to have 25 guys, to go over it, that's how the program's been built. You can't score 1,000 unless you stay 4 years, or you're a fifth-year guy too in redshirt. And so it's a little bit of guys get better here, and they really, are part of things all 4 years and just grow. No one's a better example of that than Johnny, and certainly T.J. Gibbs too.
Now, you had this conversation earlier today with your communications director, Alan Wazalewski, so he took it and ran with it, and he dug up all these numbers I think the folks would like to hear. 23 Notre Dame players have reached 1,000 career points since you became the head coach here. That's the most of any ACC team. Duke and UNC are next with 20. Nationally, you're second in the country. Only Villanova has had more with 24. Florida's tied with you with 23. All-time 1,000-point scorers in the country, Carolina's got 77, Louisville 69, Duke 67. Notre Dame and Villanova are tied for fourth with 64. So I know we joke sometimes football school, basketball school. Pretty good basketball school to football school.
Pretty good, yeah. And I think when you look at those numbers for us, it says 4-year guys. And I think we've been up there nationally lately because, some of the school, Duke and Carolina, are losing guys after a year. They're great players, don't get me wrong. But you can't score 1,000 in a season. Yeah, maybe you can, but that's maybe Maravich scored 1,000. Austin could have scored 1,000 in a season. Austin Carr, but so it's 4-year guys, and one of the things we really sell in recruiting is guys get better here, and they grow, and if you can be patient and let us develop you. And I think you've seen one level of it with Mooney and Gibbs and Pfluger certainly. And then you see like another level of it with our sophomores who are growing. And last year we threw them to the wolves. And, you know, God bless them. They've gotten tougher and better and more confident. And it's really neat to be around to watch guys get better. Again, Johnny Mooney's, you know, I think I've said this. If you would have told me Johnny Mooney would be doing this his junior and senior year, I don't think I would have agreed. I said, I don't see that. And so he's even surpassed what we've all thought, and maybe himself sometimes. But it's well-deserved because he's worked for it, and he's had a great attitude. He didn't play a whole lot as a freshman and sophomore. He never came in to want to leave. He never said, Coach, I got to get out of here, or how come I don't. He just went back to the gym and kept working, and he's a throwback in that sense. And we really have a lot of guys like that. It's why I've loved coaching here. We have a lot of young men like that that are, you know, really get it and are sharp and are believers and hang in. You know, we're 5 and 6 in the league because we have some believers and some tough guys. We've kind of fought back into the battle.
And folks, fans can vote for Mooney for this award. Go to Hoop Hall Awards, all one word, hoophallawards.com. You can vote for John. I'm going to talk about T.J. Gibbs here in a second, but when you talked about people stepping up, your sophomore class, you had a couple of the guys who had certainly stepped up. In Goodwin, who we're also going to talk about, and Prentice Hub, who's been ridiculous scoring-wise on the road, but really good running stuff at home as well. But this week, Nate Leshevsky took the next step.
I really think that the light bulb's on there now, too. You know, we saw Prentice, we saw Dane kind of join the party, and now you can look and go, those two guys are ACC players, and I really, truly believe Nate Leshevsky has gotten into that mindset. You know, he's moving, he's physical, he's stronger now. That's just a great defensive play right there, and running the floor, great cut here. We see him cutting and, you know, him battling around the basket. He couldn't finish like that last year, and that was a great read by Rex. So just, you know, really, really pleased with how he's coming, and it was only a matter of time. You know, there's too much good stuff there. It's going to happen.
And, Coach, referring again to the video that we show the folks here at O'Rourke's and everybody watching at home, this show is also live streamed on UND.com and YouTube, and it's archived as well if you want to go back and see some of the highlights. And let's go to Dane Goodwin. He's the only player in the ACC averaging double figures coming off the bench, 12 points per game, and he's 6th in the country in Division I coming off the bench, and none of the other 5 players play at a Power 5 school or the Big East. He's certainly, at the very least, should be up for the Big East the ACC Sixth Man Award. We were in the Big East for a long time.
That too.
The ACC Sixth Man Award, or maybe the national one.
Yeah, no, he's a strong candidate for it. Boy, does he give us a lift off the bench. And, you know, he's gotten aggressive when he comes in there. He's hunting his shot. He's going to the bucket. But then also he plays with a group of guys that find him and know the weapon that he is, and unselfishly throw it to him and tell him to go shoot it and score. So it's been cool to watch him get tougher and just really feel it. I mean, he's playing in a great rhythm right now.
And his offense is ahead of his defense.
Yes.
His defense has cost him some minutes. He doesn't always play it the way you need him to. He's not always tough enough on the defensive end. But the great thing is he wants to do it. He wants to get tougher, and he's working very hard to excel on that end of the floor.
Well, he's growing in that area, and the one thing he can really do is, you know, he can rebound the ball. You know, he plays very athletically and long, and I thought that he's done that a little bit more. You know, the biggest thing to get Dane to do when he first got here, and he's come a long way, but we still want more, is talk. He kind of played the game by himself, not selfishly because he wouldn't communicate with his teammates. He wouldn't engage, and he's gotten better at talking and engaging. And when you play with Pfluger and Gibbs, they make you talk. You know, they drag you along. Rex is great as a fifth-year guy of kind of pulling a Dane Goodwin out of his shell and making him talk and then getting him the ball, you know, because he knows he can score it.
In some ways, Rex's injury last year was even bigger than Bonzi's injury because Rex was your leader. He was your Pat Connaughton on last year's team. And when he goes down, it's left to TJ, who had never had to do it before. John Mooney was just establishing himself as a main player, and John wasn't that vocal last year, led by example. And in all honesty, both because, and you've mentioned this a lot, the team was so young, TJ didn't have any help, and he wasn't very good at it, and he struggled. And I'm so proud of him because he has turned that all around this year.
He's having a great year, and I felt for him at times last year, and I knew losing Rex would affect him the most. Those two guys are joined at the hip. You know, a lot of times when TJ Gibbs gets an open look, it's probably a Rex Pfluger pass. Yeah. And then that disappeared after the Purdue game. It was really good during the game because Rex had 10 assists, you know, and then blew the knee out in the last 4 minutes. So I think for that, it's calmed him down, and he is taking his jump shot when it's open. The one thing he's doing is getting to the basket better. He's getting in there and finishing. He's getting fouled. He's always been a physical, tough defender. But I'm proud of him and thrilled for him because last year was very hard on him. You know, probably unfairly at times, it was his fault. Mm-hmm. We couldn't get over the hump. He can't. And he heard that all the time, and yet he hung in there, and he had all these young guys around him trying to figure it out. So I'm just really thrilled for him because he is a fighter. He is a battler. It's all he knows.
And we're watching his highlights right now here at O'Rourke's. He led you last night with 21 points. He scored in double figures in every ACC conference game this season. He's one of only 2 players in the country in conference play to be shooting the ball better than 50% from both the floor and three-point land and 90% from the free throw line. In ACC conference play, he's second in the league in field goal percentage and three-point field goal percentage, and he leads the league in ACC play in free throw percentage, and he's defending, and he's dishing the ball.
And he's playing 37 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, again, him and Mooney, and we steal Rex a rest because, you know, his knee gets sore, and we steal him some rest. Those two guys, what we're asking out of them physically, that's like a day like today and even tomorrow, we really have to get them rested and get them in recovery mode. TJ just wants to battle, and he always wants to practice longer than I have on the, you know, I'm trying to pace us, and I stop practice. He goes, let's go some more. Let's go some more. And sometimes I listen, and other days I say, no, get out of here. You know, let's save it for the game. But he deserves it. He is a warrior. He's a tough guy. The one thing you see him, he's a great shooter.
Yeah.
And when he just settles his feet and thinks about taking open shots, he shoots it up there with some of the best guys we've had. And I thought at times early in the season he would turn them down and try and just take what you got and he's got great range, you know. Playing like a senior should, setting the tone and leading and wanting to take big shots.
I want to sneak one more TJ Gibbs stat in here because when I mention this to folks, they look at me and go, really? I think everybody would acknowledge ACC is a pretty good basketball league. And even though a lot of good players left last year, the fact that with 1,464 career points, TJ Gibbs is the leading active scorer in the entire ACC. Mooney's the leading active rebounder. I think people expect that. But the fact that TJ has scored more points than anybody playing in this league right now is impressive.
It gets lost a little bit. I mean, you know, he's got, what was he got, 1,400?
1,464 points.
I mean, the man is,
a lot of points. He
has had a great college career. You know, when you look at when you step back and look at the whole thing, and he's had an unbelievable impact. And you're right, this league has a lot of weapons, but for him to be the leading current scorer, but you know, he's playing like a man. Johnny's playing like a man. Rex is playing like an older guy. I think Juwan Durham and Nick Jogo are you know, those two guys they're seniors and they're older, and there's a calming influence there. So we got older. We were young for the one year in my tenure. We really had to go young, and it hurt us bad, and now we've grown a little older again.
We have our question segment. Then we're getting to Juwan, who showed up early. And I don't want Juwan to think that we're not talking about him. We're not talking about him because the second half of the show is about him.
It's all him.
But on the TV show, we talked about him a lot today because he's playing so well. But we have our audience questions coming up for Coach Brey right after this timeout. The Mike Brey Radio Show, presented by the experts at TireRack.com.
A stylish new garage door can change the entire look of your home. At Industrial Door of Northern Indiana, you can choose from traditional carriage house or other striking residential looks that will update the curb appeal of your home instantly. Visit Industrial Door of Northern Indiana's showroom at 3839 South Main Street in South Bend, or view their entire gallery, including lifestyle overhead and Mystic motorized garage screen doors at industrialdoorni.com. Industrial Door of Northern Indiana, providing quality sales, service, and installation of commercial and residential overhead doors.
Hi, I'm Brock Zolman. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care has been family owned for 40 years. What does this mean to you? It means that we're dedicated to our community and serving you like family. Zolman's Best One would also like to say thank you for voting us favorite auto repair for 16 consecutive years and favorite tire store for 3 years in a row. We also offer a wide selection of Bridgestone tires. Bridgestone tires at Zolman's Best One. Let our family serve your family. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care. Trusted community service for 40 years.
Join us weekdays at 5 for Sports Beat. Darren Pritchett, ND Insider Eric Hansen, and Sean Stiers.
Well, if the Bears would have bared down a little harder in the draft a couple of years ago, they might have Patrick Mahomes on their roster. But Mitchell Trubisky is reality, while Patrick Mahomes at the age of 24 is a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP.
Budweiser's Weekday Sports Beat, only on WSBT.
Listen up, high school sports fans. This cheer's for you.
You're number one. You're number one.
Why all the love? Why do we think you're number one?
Because as high school athletes, we know there is no us without you.
We know that when you buy a ticket to see an IHSAA game or meet, you're helping pay for new uniforms, safer equipment, or even a bus ride to the game.
But we also know what you're really saying is, I believe in you. I believe you could be somebody.
When you think about all of the opportunities your attendance at an IHSAA athletic event creates,
and the fact that you paid for your ticket,
well, fantastic doesn't begin to describe how we feel about you.
High school sports.
You pay,
we play.
Everybody wins.
This message brought to you by the IHSAA, encouraging you to go to a high school game this week and help build a future that benefits us all.
Folks, experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell your tickets. Vivid Seats helps you see more and sit closer all season long at vividseats.com/UND. Jill from South Bend is here. Update on Robbie Carmody, please.
Robbie Carmody is going to start traveling with us. He's made such
Great.
progress in his rehab. He has not been able to travel. He's off the crutches, and he spends a lot of time with Nixon, our trainer, and he's right on schedule, but it'll be nice to have him on the road with us to support his guys and to feel part of it.
Jerry List from South Bend has a very simple question, Coach. What is it going to take to win these next 4 games? Good luck.
Well, I'm trying not to look ahead past Clemson, but, Jack, you mentioned it earlier. I mean, they're all winnable. They're all winnable. I mean, certainly.
It's a tall order to get all 4 of them this close together, but they are all winnable.
They're all very winnable. And, I just want us to go to Clemson and continue to play well and get into an offensive rhythm. And then let's see where the smoke clears when we land in Charlottesville, and we'll talk about Virginia and inch our way through this thing. But, it's exciting to play the pedigree of, these programs. And we're playing them in a row, and we're playing them on national TV, and that's what kids want. They want to play in big games, and that's it's great.
Doug Buell, season ticket holder for Michigan City, is here almost every show. He wants to follow up. The team is really looking good at both ends of the court. What is the biggest challenge going into this difficult road trip?
I think can we continue to score it on the road like we just scored it at home? Can we keep that offensive rhythm going? I think we feel pretty good about it. And then, can we keep people off the offensive board? Georgia Tech got 20 offensive rebounds, but we were just better offensively. We can't absorb, huge numbers of offensive rebounds, even though, there's some athletes in the league that are going to get to your backboard.
Gary Rivers is here. Nice to see the 3-game win streak hard to do that in the ACC. Don't know the rules on transfers, but does Cormac Ryan practice with the team? And what will he bring next year?
Yeah, Cormac practices every day, and Cormac's always in a blue shirt. You know, the white shirts as we sub everybody through are the first unit or whatever you want to call it. He gives the white shirts the blues a lot of time. He is a really, really good guard.
And a good leader.
And you can see his demeanor on the bench supporting his teammates. He is going to be a great addition to our perimeter, especially losing Gibbs and Pfluger. I'm very excited, and I think his teammates are excited about getting him eligible next year.
You know, I just started thinking about this, so 30 seconds of thought process. I probably shouldn't bring it up, but when I'm thinking right now, because I've watched him a lot, he's like a coach on the floor. Hansbrough, Miller. He's got a little bit of both of those guys in him. Do you think?
Yeah. I think the Ben Hansbrough, Chris Quinn, Vastoria, he is a combo guard, so he and Prentice, either one can handle the ball next year. And, a perimeter of Dane Goodwin, Prentice Hub, Cormac Ryan, we're still old. He's not this will be his third year at college. And they can score the ball. They can shoot it. They can handle it. They'll be powerful out there.
John from South Bend has submitted this question, and I will ask it, but we have to start with this instruction. Coach cannot talk about specific players in the next recruiting class. It's an NCAA violation, but he'd like to know how recruiting is going for the 2021 class.
Well, you're doing a little bit of that every day, and I guess my best way to put it, it can be code, is I've done a lot of local recruiting.
Okay.
All right. That's and it is so neat to do local recruiting. But I'll have to do a lot of my legwork in April when the AAU season starts out, and then July to get out. My assistants sneak out during the season when I stay with the team, and then certainly we're going to have Juwan on, who was one of our transfer investments. We've made a bunch of those in my 20 years, and they're great investments, as Juwan is, and we'll keep an eye on Cormac. Obviously, is sitting out now. We'll keep an eye on that old transfer portal, which continues to grow every spring.
So, how many guys do you think you have to bring in for next fall and the following year?
No, that's a great question. Because you're definitely losing three guys. Juwan and Nick have the year of eligibility to come back, and God, we hope they want to come back, and I think they see a path to come back and do it, So, if we could get, we've got two big guys coming who I can speak about, Elijah and Matt Zona. Actually, Elijah's senior night's tonight. He just reminded me I got to call him later. I got to call him later. His senior night's tonight. But so we got those two guys coming who are frontline guys. But if there's some thing out there in high school, and you just never know. Recruiting changes every hour, and it's got to be ready to react when somebody becomes available.
The next two questions concern Juwan, so we're going to take a break and get Juwan up here on the Mike Brey Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House.
If the worst brings out your best on the football field, that means that you tend to rise up in the face of adversity. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. A very nice quality for a football player to have. Also, a very nice quality for an insurance company to have. Because when something goes catastrophically wrong, we step up and make it right again. That's the silver lining. West Bend, the worst brings out our best. To find out more, visit thesilverlining.com.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With over 24 beers on draft and an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining in one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, meeting, or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. Cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Mike Brey Radio Show.
Ashley is an athlete who is always focused on scoring the next goal. But when unexpected injuries happen, Ashley knows where to go. SB Ortho Now Walk-In Clinic, an orthopedic care clinic with same-day walk-in care for breaks, sprains, and sports injuries. Located in South Bend Orthopedics office at Douglas Road and 23 in South Bend. And open noon to 7 Monday through Thursday and noon to 5 on Fridays. No appointment needed means Ashley can be seen right away. Learn more at sborthonow.com.
It doesn't take a focus group to name a Papa John's pizza with 5 of our best meats. Just take a ginormous bite and blurt out the first thing you think of. Meats! With an S. Meats, plural. Used in a sentence, it would be like, holy cow, that's a lot of meats. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go enjoy the meats of my labor. Try large meats or works for just $12, only at Papa John's. Not valid with other discounts. Fees and taxes extra. Prices may vary.
Folks, we're back at the Mike Brey Show. Please welcome 6'11" senior Juwan Durham. He does have a year in addition to this year of eligibility left. He's from Tampa. He started every game this season, 7.7 points, 5.5 rebounds. He's third in the ACC in block shots. He is handling the fact that the smaller lineup's been scoring like a man, not hanging his head. His numbers have gone down in terms of minutes, but his overall numbers haven't. Last night, just 19 minutes, he hit all 5 of his shots, including 2 terrific three-point plays, had 4 rebounds, 2 offensive, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 3 block shots for a plus-minus rating in the game of +5. Brandon Liss, it's his 28th birthday today. Brandon, thank you very much for celebrating it with us. Coach, how has Juwan Durham improved since the start of the season?
Well, I give him a lot of credit because, we played smaller the last couple games before last night, and it was helping us, and it was good, and it's hard. It's, for him, it's not that he wasn't playing well. That other group got going. But then I thought he just handled it great last night, and we were able to play big, and you just never know night to night. I think he's gotten stronger. He's learned how to really compete hard. I mean, I thought he was a big target last night for us to find, and he was rebounding at a high level. But I'm really pleased. He's been a great addition to our program. He's going to get a degree from Notre Dame here in a couple months, and just continues to get better. And he's got another year to just keep getting older and better and stronger.
We're going to talk a lot about basketball with you, Juwan, but we were talking in the break a little bit. You're a filmed theater television major here, but you still, in all your time at Notre Dame, you've never gotten below a B in a class, which I think is outstanding with all the time you have to spend on basketball.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Talk about, that's one of the reasons why you chose to come here, because virtually everybody recruited you out of high school, and you went to a very good program at UConn. It just didn't work out, so you chose to come to Notre Dame. The academics had to be part of it.
Yes, it definitely was. I was always told growing up that you can't just depend on basketball your whole life. So you got one day the ball's going to stop bouncing, and what are you going to do after that? So I took that serious when my parents told me that, and now I'm here, and I'm trying to get a degree.
Which you're going to get. Now, with
Yes.
that kind of academic record, you're going to get it. Landon's here from South Bend. Not really a question, but a compliment. Your second half play last night, Juwan, was great. Your effort and aggressiveness was much needed. Please keep it up. Landon, thanks for that. Another one of your best games, and this is hard. I was told that you had the largest contingent of friends and family at the Florida State game.
Yes.
And when friends and family are there, you want to do well, and boy, did you ever. In the second half, you had 10 points, 7 rebounds. You finished with 16 and 9. You out-rebounded Florida State in the second half as a team 21-11. You were a big reason for that. And then you made those great plays down. You steal the inbounds pass, you score. You got fouled. Nobody called it. And then you helped force a 5-second violation. It was just a tremendous performance, and I've been doing this a long time. That's why my hair's white. I've seen a lot of guys go home and lay an egg. They couldn't handle the pressure of playing in front of friends and family. You not only played in front of a hostile sellout crowd, you delivered in that atmosphere with all those folks pulling for you. Talk about how you dealt with that situation.
Basically, I just try to go out there and just do everything that I could just to help the team out. And I try not to pay too much attention to my family. There was one time during the timeout, I hear my dad yelling at me, and I just like, yo, I know, I got you. And then I just go back to the bench, and I coach myself up, and coach put me back in, and I try to fix all the problems that I had going on. But other than that, I just try to do whatever the team needs to help me. To help them win.
you know, both in high school and collegiately, you've missed a lot of time with injuries. So
Yes.
you're not the senior class is kind of a misnomer because you don't have senior basketball experience yet, but you keep getting better. What is your evaluation of where your game is right now?
The sky's still the limit. I'm not where I want to be at yet, and I know that I have a lot of work to do. And just being here, I know that I'll be able to work on my game and get to my goal.
And again, we touched on the small lineup is helping you guys get to 80 points a game.
Yes.
And you're second in the league in scoring. Only Duke scores more. So that has to keep happening. But it's not because not only that you're not playing well, but you and John play, I call it the Twin Towers. You play as well as two big men, two post players on the floor at the same time as any combo like that I can remember since I got here at Notre Dame back in 1982. Talk about how you guys have really learned to play together.
Well, growing up, we've known each other for a long time. We used to play each other in the AAU, so I've always had a feel for his game, and he had a feel for mine. And just luckily, we ended up at the same school together, so we know each other's tendencies, and we practice together, and we just try to talk to each other off the court and tell each other what we need to do to get better, and small things, like small details that we need to learn about each other. Like, if I look at him, like raise my eyebrows or something, he knows to cut to the basket, and same thing vice versa. So we just try to be on the same page at all times.
They're rooming together now.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, the three of them, Nick. It's a neat. That's a great apartment over there.
Yes.
And one of the things you just touched on it, but in terms of you're not just great passing big men, but great passing big men generally get it in the post and pass it out to a perimeter shooter. You guys, and you just mentioned one of the reasons why, I've never seen two big men who do a better job of setting up the other big guy when you're both on the floor and making some really difficult passes for easy baskets for the other guy. How hard is that to be able to pull that off?
It's pretty tough, but being 6'11" helps out a lot. I just try to keep the ball up high, and I know he's going to be up high, so I just try to throw it up, or I'm pretty sure he tries to do the same thing to me.
I thought one of the big possessions last night was Pitt goes zone. They're starting to creep back in a little bit. We hit him at the foul line in the high post, and he goes high-low to Johnny right away. You know, and he's just, you know, again, like you mentioned, there it was. They really pass and look for each other. He's great with the ball. He really has a good feel for it. And again, because of the injuries in high school and a little bit in college, and you know, his momentum is coming. And I think about when we sit there and talk as a staff, we look and go, all right, here it comes. But what about him as a fifth-year guy when he really now has grown into the body and it's gotten stronger and healthier and has learned how to take care of himself even better. So, but I do know there's going to be a lot of people from his family at graduation in May. The mom called the office today and wanted to know about graduation tickets and senior night tickets. And I said, don't worry about senior night. That'll be next year. But graduation is going to be pretty good.
You know, and you're so unselfish because I've been excited since the first time I saw you play. Great foul line jumper, nice turnaround jumper. You've got one of the deepest hooks I've ever seen. You can hook it in from the ACC logo. Not many big guys can do that. And what I've noticed this year, your teammates, especially your guards, they love to throw it into you with alley-oops, but not just to convert, which I think this week you've done the best job ever of in one motion, making some very graceful. I call one play beautiful. I think one of your slam dunks last night. But what I really like about you is you're such a good judge of when they're throwing it into you. They just want to get into the post. Sometimes there's no way you can dunk it, and you know that. So you just control it, and then you make something happen. You're getting to the line, or you wait for that double team and you find somebody else. I really have never seen a 6'10" guy who is as good at controlling that pass and then making something happen out of it as opposed to trying to dunk everyone, half of which never work. So is that something in your mind that you have worked on about thinking the first thing is possession and then I'll decide what to do with it, unless it's a prototypical perfect alley-oop pass where you can just jam it home?
Yeah, I noticed that it's not always going to be a perfect pass, so I just try to be as smart as I can when the ball comes to me. So I know that it's going to come up high or something, and I just try to look if I can score the ball first, and if I can't, find somebody to pass the ball to, or I can just go up again and try to score it.
He's got great footwork. When did you have your growth spurt? How old were you?
I've always been really tall, to be honest with you.
You were tall when you were young?
Probably middle school.
Middle school. But he's kind of has guard feet and hands. He's got really good hands. He's got kind of guard vision. His feet are good. and there's not a lot of big guys that are like that, and so I think that's why he's easy to play with. And we've talked about the guard lineup. Well, the guard lineup doesn't always have to be 4 guards and Johnny Mooney. At Florida State, we took Johnny Mooney out. He was struggling a little bit, and we made our run. It was 4 guards at him, and so you just you never know. And last night
it was Juwan and Nate.
And Nate, exactly. And Nate really has kind of become a little bit of a guard because he's gotten better with the ball and he can space the floor. But last night, I don't think we played the small lineup much. We played our big guys, and you just don't know, night to night and where you're going with it. But obviously Nick has become part of the rotation. Now we've got 8 guys. We need to keep those 8 guys healthy and keep them ready to play.
Juwan's going to run the fast break. He's a veteran at this as well. Right after this timeout, the Mike Brey Radio Show, live from O'Rourke's Public House.
A stylish new garage door can change the entire look of your home. At Industrial Door of Northern Indiana, you can choose from traditional carriage house or other striking residential looks that will update the curb appeal of your home instantly. Visit Industrial Door of Northern Indiana's showroom at 3839 South Main Street in South Bend, or view their entire gallery, including lifestyle overhead and Mystic motorized garage screen doors at industrialdoorni.com. Industrial Door of Northern Indiana, providing quality sales, service, and installation of commercial and residential overhead doors.
Hi, I'm Brock Zolman. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care has been family-owned for 40 years. What does this mean to you? It means that we're dedicated to our community and serving you like family. Zolman's Best One would also like to say thank you for voting us favorite auto repair for 16 consecutive years and favorite tire store for 3 years in a row. We also offer a wide selection of Bridgestone tires. Bridgestone tires at Zolman's Best One. Let our family serve your family. Zolman's Best One Tire and Auto Care. Trusted community service for 40 years.
Join us weekdays at 5 for Sports Beat with Darren Pritchett, ND Insider Eric Hansen, and Sean Stiers.
Well, if the Bears would have bared down a little harder in the draft a couple of years ago, they might have Patrick Mahomes on their roster. But Mitchell Trubisky is reality, while Patrick Mahomes at the age of 24 is a Super Bowl champion and a Super Bowl MVP.
Budweiser's Weekday Sports Beat, only on WSBT.
You want to feel goosebumps? Then purchase a ticket to an athletic event at your local high school. You'll be making a lasting difference in your community. Buying a ticket to an IHSAA game or meet helps ensure your school has the funding it needs to operate. New uniforms, safer equipment, transportation. Your ticket purchase helps to pay for it all. You're also helping today's student athletes learn the life skills they need to get better jobs and become better leaders. Plus, you'll see them do some amazing things.
Whoa! Did you see that? Oh, man, I think I just got goosebumps.
Me too.
High school sports. We pay, they play. Everybody wins. This message brought to you by the IHSAA, encouraging you to go to a high school game this week and help build a future that benefits us all.
Okay, it's often the fans' favorite part of the show. It's the fast break where we get some insight into Juwan's thought on this team. One thing the public would be surprised to learn about you.
I'm pretty laid back. I don't do too much. I just chill whenever we have an off day. I'll probably go shoot a little bit. Other than that, I'm just watching a movie or something or watching a TV show on Netflix.
Good way to stay out of trouble.
Yes.
His Twitter feed's nice and innocent, too. He just retweets lots of nice stuff. Occasionally compliments somebody.
He's incognito.
Yes.
Right? He's just kind of under the radar.
Who's your role model?
Role model, I'm going to go with LeBron and my parents.
Which is better, getting a key rebound, completing an impressive highlight film alley-oop dunk, or blocking a shot?
Probably blocking a shot. It's nothing like that. The crowd goes crazy and you just screaming like, yeah, let's go. We got it back. Let's do this.
So 30-second timeout in the midst of this fast break. The catch he made on Prentice's lob.
Yes.
That was a hard pass.
Yes.
He made that an assist last night. Now I love Prentice's vision, putting it up there.
That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah.
Okay. And there's a first
Great
horn.
hands.
We're out of the timeout.
Okay.
I just wanted to add that. That was a hard
Now,
catch.
I'm going to date myself. Have you ever heard of Bill Russell?
Of course.
Of course. Well, I grew up watching him as a young child, and he was known for blocking with a purpose. He would start fast breaks with block, and you do the best job of anybody I've seen at Notre Dame of not only blocking the shot, but keeping it in play. Is that intentional?
Yes, actually, I think I saw an interview or a documentary or something where they was talking about that with Bill Russell, and I was like, well, I can block a shot, so what if I can block the shot and keep it in bounds, and we can start a fast break that way? So that's something that I always thought about, and I'm trying to do better at it right now.
It's a huge skill to have, and you're very good at it. One thing you always hear from Coach Brey in practice.
Just keep my energy up, rebound the ball.
I've heard that.
Yes.
Assistant coach who's most like Coach Brey.
Balanis, definitely.
Just a comment on the assistants. Scott Martin.
Quiet.
Ryan Ayers.
Loud.
Ryan Humphrey.
Oh, my bad, man. Ryan Humphrey's loud.
Harold Swanigan.
Big Bro.
And Rod Balanis.
Coach Brey.
That's why we haven't been mentioning Rob, because it's usually Coach Brey. That's why I took it out. I put it back in. Player on the team most like you, Juwan.
Most like me? I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty different. I wouldn't say anybody's like me.
Good to be an individual.
Yes, yes.
Best defender on the team.
I'm going to go with Rex Pfluger.
Best leaper on the team.
Leaper, probably Prentice.
Best dunker on the team.
I definitely got to give myself that one.
Best dresser on the team.
I'm going to go with Elijah.
Worst dresser on the team.
Ooh, okay, this might sound kind of bad, but probably John Mooney.
He's a common
roommate.
Response to that. Best singer on the team.
TJ thinks he is, so I'll say TJ.
Worst singer on the team.
TJ.
You're also a very good free throw shooter for a big man. Free throw shooting competition, who wins, you or Coach Brey?
Funny story. I saw him shooting a video one time, and he was shooting free throws, and I don't think that he saw me see the air ball he shot, but I did see it, so I'm going to go with myself on that one.
I think that was from Maui. All right, Juwan, thank you so much. Good luck
problem.
the rest of the way.
Thank you.
We'll be back to wrap things up right after this final timeout.
There are countless not very smart things you can do in your car. Painting your body green in support of Notre Dame basketball while driving. Painting your friend's body. Pretty much any kind of body painting while driving. But with TireRack.com, it's easy to be smart about your tires. Use our test results and consumer reviews to find the best tire for your car. Use our comparison tools to choose the right tires for you. Then have them shipped and installed fast. TireRack.com, official tire experts of Notre Dame basketball.
There's no doubt education costs have become overwhelming and continue to spike. Unless you choose to earn while you learn as an apprentice with the electrical workers of Local 153. Instead of spending $20,000 a year, often leaving school with a debt, you'll earn an annual package worth over $70,000 while you earn your associate's degree and the skills to be an IBEW electrician. Contact the South Bend Electrical Apprentice Training Center at JATC153.com and compare. Huge costs with no guarantee of a job versus earning $280,000 and train for the future.
At St. Joseph Health System, every hand held, every story told, every tear shed, smile shared, and spirit lifted stays in our hearts forever. We're blessed because every day we get to make a difference in people's lives. To learn more, visit sjmed.com. St. Joseph Health System. We are called to care for you.
Fighting Irish fans, don't miss your chance to experience the action live with tickets from Vivid Seats, the official ticket marketplace of the Fighting Irish. Visit vividseats.com/UND today to buy and sell tickets to any event. Home games, on the road, even sold-out games, no problem. And every transaction is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee. Vivid Seats lets you see more and sit closer all season long. Support the Fighting Irish with tickets from the official ticket marketplace, Vivid Seats. Available now at vividseats.com/UND.
Join the gang at O'Rourke's Public House, located in Eddy Street Commons, directly across the street from the Notre Dame campus. With over 24 beers on draft and an extensive selection of menu items, they're sure you'll find something to your liking. Experience dining in one of the 5 different Irish-themed areas overlooking Notre Dame's beautiful campus. Whether you're catching up with an old friend, meeting, or enjoying dinner with your family, O'Rourke's is the place to be. Visit them online at o'rourkespublichouse.com. Cheers to the Irish from O'Rourke's, the official home of the Mike Brey Radio Show.
Folks, as you know, the Mike Brey Radio Show brought to you by TireRack.com. And while we're talking shooting, rebounding, and defending, the experts at Tire Rack have cornering traction and performance of a different kind on their minds. That's why you'll be able to get your tires right at TireRack.com the way tire buying should be. The gauntlet begins Sunday night at Clemson. What are the keys?
Well, can we get up and down and have fun offensively, get some stops and run, get some easy? They're a good defensive team. Like Pittsburgh, we turned it over early. It took us a while to adjust to how they defended us. They will do that there. And then I think we're going to have to really control the backboard because they have athletic ability that can get to the backboard. They don't always make the first shot, so they're chasing down misses. And that athletic ability, keeping it off the backboard, will be a challenge. But I think we're excited to go. You know, we're playing well. Our frame of mind is good. We're getting some rest today. Get back into practice routine tomorrow, and here we go.
All right, 6 o'clock Sunday night pregame show on this station, 5:40 Eastern Time. And we'll update you halfway through the gauntlet next Thursday night.
That's right.
Right here at O'Rourke's. Until then, Coach, thank you. Juwan, thank you. Folks, thanks for coming out. Good night, everybody, and go Irish.
The Mike Brey Radio Show at O'Rourke's Public House was presented by the experts at TireRack.com and is brought to you by Coca-Cola, Under Armour, Gatorade, Cannon, by Vivid Seats, St. Joseph Health System, South Bend Orthopedics, by West Bend Insurance, First Source Bank, by IBEW, and by Papa John's.